All right, new guy. What do you got for me? Blue going to nowhere. All right. A lot of need for white. Like a lot of need for white. Glimpse at level 26 and then probably 27 back there. All right. Wow, we need a lot of white. Okay. What do you give? Oh, I can just walk through these barriers. I guess they just stop lasers. I didn't really think about that until just now. You look like more blue? Ah, you're green and blue mixed already while you're regular blue. Okay. And there's red. Yellow? Oh no. Stop. Don't do it. No, don't do that. Stop that. Huh. You're gonna be weird. Okay. One of those quantum puzzles where I have multiple solutions or something that have to be simultaneously implemented. So this guy will open this guy. That's the only X, right? Okay, so you're a red X. You will open this door, giving me access to that color. But that only works when this thing's in the state where it'll have red. Okay. So now this is open half the time. This is gonna get weird. So ultimately, it's red and blue. Yeah, blue and yellow, or teal and red. So that those two beams combined with each other will always be white. Yeah. When that's blue, that's yellow. So I guess it doesn't really matter, right? When this thing is open is when red is happening. Okay. So when we lose the beam behind the door, it doesn't matter because that color's the one we need with that one anyway, so blah. Just gives me another beam to redirect, with the goal being to make them all connect, because I need them all to touch. And I have access to one of these. The question is, where should I use it? I'm thinking maybe here, but we'll see. It's not going to go through that if it goes that way. What am I going to do with you? Okay, so you're going to bounce through here. So you need to be redirected one way or another. I'm thinking you need to be a tri-split. Maybe this way? Kind of wasteful because it's going to redirect that way anyway. I mean, it's currently making them both white though, which means all I need is this, right? Is that solved? What? Wait, what? Huh. I don't know, I have two more boxes, so I thought I'd have to do more. But we're already there. Alright, well. Boop, 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 boop. We have RGB. We have a white, and a red. Alright, so one of the things we need to split is red. Ah, there's a box on both these sides. Maybe enough. How's that gonna work? There must be a way of redirecting it, right? So let's follow this. Yeah, that one. You need to point this way, and I need to make white get here. Okay. Now let's focus on making these guys all reconnect. Like, you know, estranged siblings or whatever. You can go that way. Try that. Just needs to also be redirected to go this way, which is gonna get interesting. You line up with that guy, which might be better. it's not salvageable. That can certainly make one white happen. But how do I get the other white? Ah, perfectly lines up with that spot. Okay, so you're unnecessary. Kind of. All that's left is how do I get a red to this spot? Either source is valid if I can make it get here while also still getting wherever it's already going. This is so spread out. Let's see. So you're currently redirecting directly into this guy. There's a few places that intersect, but if I change the course, it just won't go there, which is a problem. I did that on accident, but it solved the puzzle. Because shooting it into there made it go back to where these guys are. It met back up with these things, which means it actually does go back out to there, and while also being feathered there. The first thing I futzed with immediately solved the puzzle. Alright. So there's 28 and 29. You can see into the future. Oh, I can almost go through. Oh, I'm floating. Oh, I was kind of stuck. Save. Let's just make a manual save before I potentially break this thing. Because this... I inherently feel the need to mess around with this kind of stuff. I think the higher you jump into it, the higher you'll be stuck. Because you maintain your vertical placement. I'm slowly falling. And then if you stop holding down forward, you fall again. That's curious. I take that to mean that we may be able to shoot lasers into the other puzzle to help solve it or something? I don't know. Let's focus on solving this one first and see what's going to happen. But yeah, I can see that, especially with the way that this game was remade from scratch. Because apparently we've gotten the surprise. This is the first episode recorded past the first session, and the surprise that the developers actually in the comments explaining as they go. The reason why this game, the executable said ReThink 2, was because they took ReThink 2, the game that came out most recently, and in that game they basically rebuilt the original game. So that's why everything's updated and so on. Now, looking at the title bar, it says ReThink Reworked to update its title, which I could almost call the video series that, come to think of it, because that's what it is, essentially. Updated SEO for the fact that it's like the definitive edition or whatever. But yeah, if you're gonna go back and revamp puzzles, one struggle that comes up here is that they made this world that is a bunch of interconnected rooms that you can see each room from, which means you kind of have confined space where you're gonna have to move a lot of other stuff around if you start changing the scale of things. So they might be potentially stuck with like how big some of these rooms are, even though it doesn't necessarily complement the puzzle to make them so big sometimes and all that. Sorry. The red and blue and purple. Okay. This one seems straightforward, so I'm curious to see what kind of mess it's going to be. I'm thinking this is a yeah, that's why this is here, is we're going to use these to do stuff over there, right? Because this is almost certainly not going to be a difficult thing to figure out. Yeah. That's a massive waste of resources, obviously, the way I did it, but just points out that I'm way over-equipped for solving this puzzle, which raises questions that are probably answered by that. There's also, like, not a clean way to solve this puzzle, is there? It seems like the ways to solve this puzzle are kind of distressing. Like, they involve a big sloppy mess of wasted resources and so on. Is there a blue in that room? There's a white. I should probably just preemptively split these things in a way so that they go out those doors like that. If I can. Hey, red into red. What do you know? There's no blue though, you need to be purple. Maybe I should be planning this better, huh? It'd be pretty easy to shoot it down that way, but then it wouldn't go back into this purple, which would be a problem. Unless... that doesn't help that much, actually. Probably putting the cart before the horse here, considering I don't know what's going to happen next. Okay, that's an elegant way of splitting red so it goes to that place and towards purple. The question is, how do I split purple so it goes the right way? Never quite lines up the way you'd like it to. There's already a blue beam in there, so I don't have to worry about getting it into there. I just need purple going through there. And this is not doing me favors right now. But putting you over there doesn't help either because... well, maybe. Maybe I can bounce it back again? Except we're not mixing purple and blue right now. Let's see. The straight line there doesn't work, straight line there doesn't work. I need to do a better job at combining these. So I'm a bit curious about this crossing with this. Yeah, that makes a clean purple. But only if I can intersect it right here. That opens my door, but not a lot else. And then this lines up wrong. Ah. This is interesting because it splits these colors. But it's still, I once again have the problem where red's not reaching there now. And also purple's still not reaching there, to be frank. Oh. Yeah. If only, right? Because I could just point the purple back there if any of these would reach there, but it's a pretty confined angle. Not a lot of benefit turning this way. It's easy enough to solve the room, it's harder to get the right thing going the right way. Let's come back to it. Hello, other giant room covered in blobs. Oh. Alright. We've got a quantum green. Not an exactly correct thing to call this, but it's fitting enough that I like it. Whenever there's the alternating solutions. Because it is basically asking you to solve two puzzles simultaneously. Because you have to make both states work. Okay, so this one also gives me the chance to shoot stuff into that room. So this must be the source of basically all the colors, because that's got... what are the colors again? We're building up to that as being like the big puzzle of the episode. This is the puzzle more so than the surrounding rooms. Purple, red, yellow, white. So purple and red reasonably come from this room. And the blue doesn't even play a role outside of that purple. Yellow, white. So there's another red here. And then yellow and white. All of them combine and become white, and these two combined become yellow. Alright, so to escape this room, we need 2 white there. And that's it. Okay. Can I split it? Just not really. I'm not going to get a nice even red right here that just splits it into the 2 of them. We don't have any greens to play with. I think a red here would... No? No, it hits it. But that hits it, at least one of them. While also redirecting it over there, so we could escape it out if we want to. We could escape it out. Language, words. Hey, purple. Yeah, if only we could make you guys touch. That angle is not helping. We also need to redirect the other green to make this a constant. There we go. Now the green's a constant at least. Not the purple. Probably want to make the purple touch that to make it a constant. Maybe I can do? No. Doesn't line up. I want a top-down view of this puzzle. Or all the puzzles in the game, really. Why it's actually handy to stand on top of these things, so you get a better angle for looking at the puzzle. This is a straight line. This is a straight line. I redirect into both of those by blending. Can you redirect into the other one? That'd be too convenient. That's potentially interesting. Let's unpack this. Let's take another look at the... I probably should have taken the blue ones off. Oh, right, it's red. I thought it was a 3-way split for a second there when I saw but that's it coming in. I can probably work with this. Interesting, at least. Putting this here stops it from reaching that at all. Which is what I did here, too. Do you redirect to... You redirect to this guy. Which can redirect in the back direction to him. There we go. Now it's at least hitting both. Now I just need to figure out how to get the green and red, green and blue to both touch that. And I'm running out of... I'm not really running out, but I'm reducing my number of tools. Purple's in. Greens are pointing at each other. So yeah, one of those has to be the exit. Preferably pointing... you would not work as a source. It has to be that one or that one. No, just that one. I want to reach that. Okay. Let's try... you. The angle's wrong. Ah, I thought that would reach. I thought that was gonna reach the blue. It's not. Ah, the angle's still off. By not a lot either. Just want to feed it in. Does anything line up with this guy? Not there. Diagonal lines up with the source. That doesn't help. That's a corner. Ah. Nope. And this is the only way to catch the blue. Turning you like this doesn't help. Because it won't reach anything. But I think we're stuck with you being like that. I don't even know what we're going to do to get these guys out of these rooms long term. Which thing am I missing? It's physically hard to see in this game sometimes what the layout of the puzzle is. Like, we're almost there. Why is it teal? Is it bugged again? It does appear to be a color blending bug where I made the blue point at them for a split second, so now they're like stuck that way, which seems like a way that feels like it could potentially break puzzles if I get away with that. See, now it's white, which would solve the puzzle, even though the blue is not actually feeding into it at all. I would think that's not intentional and is a bug, because otherwise it could break puzzles, because all I did was like rotate the blue to like momentarily strike this stuff, and that made it white. Whereas I imagine the purpose is for me to like make a circuit correctly and not just temporarily spin, because otherwise you could spin it and like some random stuff would just end up bugged out as being white at some point, right? Yeah, it says 1 out of 2 in the corner. This is registering as white. But all that's being fed into it is green and purple. Oh wait, no, that's right. Because the blue's getting in. I got all mixed up. That has happened before though, right? I think in a previous puzzle there was a color blending problem. But no, right, I'm here. I was trying to get green into the system for the other half. What happens if I make you split? There we go. That was the change I needed. So purple's here. Red, yellow, white. I'm wondering if this is the key. Like, now that I've opened this up, is the secret that I'm supposed to shoot this blue into one of the other chambers and that changes the solution for the other puzzles? They specifically gave me a splitter too, so it might even be about me shooting this blue into multiple other chambers. Let's see, linear. You could go that way. That's just a tree. That also works for its own reasons. I'm thinking we split it, but we'll see. Because yeah, if I can shoot blue into the room, then that would mean that could be an additional trajectory for the blue that might simplify the puzzle. Or might help with this stuff. Although blue kind of already comes from this direction, so I kind of don't expect blue to make this simpler. We'll see. This is going to be a lot to track. Okay. So the red can come from either chamber. Yellow has to come from that chamber, because that's the red and green chamber. We could bring green in from that chamber and red in from that chamber, with red going into that, and then the mixing to go into that. Like maybe I don't have to pre-mix a yellow beam. And then the two of them could combine with the blue that's already here to go there. Maybe. This got big. This puzzle's big. What resources do I have left in this room? I have a splitter and a linear. I'm thinking linear might go like here. Well, one or the other, I guess. That keeps that solution white, so the solution keeps working, but this is only on half the time, is the current problem. How do I get the other one to come back? I assume this breaks it, right? Yeah. 50% of the time this is broken. Which means the door will not open anymore because of the time limit being there for a very intentional mechanic. Because this is creating a feedback loop that causes them to all mix correctly before they reach that point. We tried this before, right? Like I can't do this. No, I can. It also simplifies that one out, I guess. Okay, so you're the linear source of green. Is red gonna come from this chamber or the other one? It'll pose a problem for me right now because I'm pre-mixing the purple right there. The other room might be an easier source of red. Not so sure. This room kind of generally bothered me. Let's try again. I am kind of favoring the idea of an earlier split for the red, like I did before. There's a nice easy exit, and it shoots directly into the red, which is so elegant and clean for my purposes that it makes me hope it's the solution. Although, let's see. A split could make a mix with the green there for the yellow. But then the other split wouldn't be as easy to get back. I don't know how that's gonna work. All I need to do is mix you two. But that was giving me trouble for some reason, right? Or it's that simple. Alright, this time I immediately saw the solution, apparently. Yay! Alright, so red is going out. Oh, right, but purple's not going out. That's what I was getting all hung up on. Just trying to figure out how to get purple out. Here they cross. Which would be a great place to farm it if I had another resource to work with, but I kind of don't. Like one might be tempted to grab it over here. I have a splitter problem. Right, now I remember what the problem was. It's not that it's hard to solve this room, it's hard to make the beams go out the way I'd like. But is there an alternative? Do I want to try to mix blue and red together in that room instead? Is that feasible with what they gave me? Yes, yeah, facing the other way is pointless. This one at least gives me a location to work with. But can I get red to go there too? That rotation option is not good. But you might be interesting. I mean, this is purple already from these sources. So it kind of becomes, can I get you to go up there? I can't just bounce it back. Can I do that here, though? Is there even a way to get... Ooh, that's a straight line. Yeah, there's no, So first of all, the sensor is set far back from the window, which is its own problem. But on top of being set back far from the window, there's no patches on the floor here. So unless that angle works out a certain way, this should mean that the only way to light this thing up is by shooting a purple through here. It should be impossible to mix it in any way in that room. I keep forgetting there's a sprint button. Are you perfectly nope, diagonal would go here. So you don't line up with this. So this does... Not totally sure. What is the purpose of this spot? Do you line up diagonally with this guy? You do. Okay. So this is a chance to shoot a red, like, that way, basically. For reasons. But yeah, there's nothing in this room that allows you to light up, to get a blue here, or anything else in here, from inside the room. It's back set, so it doesn't matter if there's anything diagonal or not, because it's back there. It's not diagonal through there. So that has to be purple. This beam does have to be purple. The question is just whether the blue is supposed to come from that blue or this blue, and whether or not switching them in any way actually makes it any easier to solve the problem. Here's a source of yellow. Ah, that's one reason to do the red that way. This could be my yellow. There. Oh. Stop that. I don't actually have a plan for you right now, but you're polluting my other solutions. So there's red and yellow done. You at that angle is kind of pointless, so going this way makes more sense. Yeah. There's white. Gotcha. So that may be the way to use blue in this room. That's really using it up. So no, I don't think I need to reverse engineer anything from this room. I think I need to figure out how to make that room shoot a purple out. I think the solution remains in this puzzle. The first one, the original problem. Man, this is a really complicated room right now. It reminds me a little bit of some games like Space Chem and Zachtronic games and programming games a little bit, where you'll program a module that has a specific output, and you have to go back to specific areas to change the, like, it's basically like programming puzzle games a little bit. Like, you could think of these as separate modules, where like this final chamber here is me using the modules, the outputs of that module and this module, essentially. And so I need to go back and reprogram the original place in order to make that place succeed. That's reinforced by the idea that if I'm correct about the solution, nothing from in there is coming back through here, so it's a one-way flow. Reinforcing the idea of it being like, these are things that build up that solution. That kind of general structure. An interesting idea. I'm also just sitting here kicking myself for not seeing what to do with the purple. If I could pre-mix a purple, I'm set. Like, that red needs to reach there, but after that, we're good to go. Is that information I can use? Three-way split. pretty sure you're correct. So those are just ways to send them out the window. And if you're linear, then you're not going to go anywhere. You can make that one purple, I guess, but I think I think switching these two is going to just cause problems. I think this one has to be red and that one has to be purple, right? Because yeah, there's no way to redirect that one to make it reach the red. So then you almost certainly have to be a split in one way or another. This is potentially appealing because this goes to you and you, which means the output is blue and the solution is blue, and I just need to figure out how to get red to both of them, but that's where it falls apart. Yeah, this is the line of reasoning I was already using before. Because this guy can be redirected here very easily, but redirecting this guy to there doesn't work because it doesn't line up. So I need a different spot to change the system. And I have no more splitters. Meanwhile, you could be moved, potentially. But the problem is that means this doesn't get a red the way it needs to early on. So that's the solution done just fine, because the solution, that solution isn't the hard part. The linear component of this doesn't really matter. I was just trying to get there and there, so you being blue might be better. So this gets me purple out there, but not in here. And using the splitter there to get that means I don't have any more red. It seems likely that the three-way split is necessary for the red beam, because that would make it reach that red output, that purple output, and this purple output. It's either it has to be a three-way split where red goes there, there, and there to make these purple, purple, red, or I can make it purple sooner, and then it would I can two-way split the purple to go here and there. But I don't see a way to make them mix sooner. This room seems almost designed to make sure they only split later in the process. Or there it is. There we go. Mixed it here. Two-way split for purple. Outputs there and there. Really? Weird. Oh, that part's broken. Okay. I was gonna say, like, this can't be right? Why is there a green then? Because I just used these as two reds. That one's a three-way split that goes nowhere. No, I cut off red. Okay, so we still created a problem. I had one of those moments where I'm like, oh, look at the solution just like that. Look how stupid I am. Nope, it was still wrong. Ta-da! Still the wrong color, but it looks colorful in there. It's very eventful. Look at every color change at the same time when I do that. The whole room changes. Okay. Which step of this is wrong? That in particular makes me curious. Like, am I supposed to redirect that from there? The red? That would imply the red has to get there at a weird time, maybe. Like from there? Is that how red's gonna get through? That's potentially interesting. But why? I don't know. They line up like that, but I don't think that is actually the solution. And red does need to escape preemptively, or none of this happens. Now they're both beaming into the same spot because of how pointless this idea was. A three-way split of blue is just so unhelpful. This one at least serves a purpose. Did I finally do it? Did I finally see it? I believe I did. You can spend so much time just adjacent to the answer. Where is the... oh, it's through this hallway, isn't it? There we go. God damn. That was a big one. That was layered. 3/4 the way there.